Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to our Latvian homestead, and once again we're in the kitchen. This video I thought I'd do something a bit different in that pretty much everything we've done up until now has been demonstrating and showing you recipes from Latvia or around the Baltic states. But one of the consequences of moving to a foreign country is that often you can't get the things that you would perhaps enjoy or like eating from home. And so what you need to do is do your best to replicate them where you are with the ingredients you've got. And so today, really this video is to all our Latvian and Estonian and Lithuanian viewers and viewers from around the world, essentially those that are not British, because I want to demonstrate to you something that we buy and less frequently make at Christmas time, and that's mincemeat. Just talk very quickly about mincemeat, and I'll show you how to make it. It's really easy, really, but it's in the UK. It's just sold everywhere, so people just buy it in jars, and then they bring it home and they make mince pies or mince tarts or other little things, and they're traditionally eaten throughout the festive period in the UK. And come January, people are absolutely sick to the back teeth of mince meat, mince pies and mince tarts and everything. But I really enjoy the taste. I've made a batch of this stuff before, and people in the village really enjoyed it and wanted the recipe, and so I thought I would share it with you guys. So what is mincemeat? Well, it's no longer meat. It once was. Mincemeat was kind of invented, I think, around the 16th century, and it traditionally would be a pie filling, and it would contain meat and actually very little fruit. Around then, you could probably get dates and prunes and stuff like that, and it would mix with a beef broth or something, put in a pie, and maybe some vinegars and stuff like that. And then I think around the kind of 19th century, there was a move toward dried fruits were more accessible as world trade increased, and so you could get things like raisins and currants and citrus fruits and stuff like that, and so they were dried and put in the pie, and there was less meat used. And then I think around 1910 the first recipe was published for a non-meat variant, although it still did contain animal fats. But you then used apple, and that was called an apple mincemeat. And then throughout the 20th century, the kind of term apple was dropped, and it was just called mincemeat. And still today, people use suet, but we can't get suet here, so my recipe doesn't include suet, which maybe is appealing to vegans and vegetarians watching, although that's just circumstance rather than my desire. So what do we have? We've got, very quickly, we've got raisins we can get here, and what they call golden raisins, which I call sultanas, but maybe they're different. We've got almonds, and we've got some apricots. I found some dried zervanes, which is cranberries. I've got some dates. I've got an orange, which I'm going to use the juice and the peel from, zest. Got an apple I'm going to chop up. No other citrus. You can't really get candied citrus peel here at all, but I have got some of the Sidonia, the Japanese flowering quince, which have been dried. They've got that kind of citrus dried, they're dried and they've got that citrusy kind of taste to them. There's another video which I'll put up here to show you how to do that. We made those a few weeks ago. If you're interested. I've got some lemon juice. I've got some brandy. I've got only the very finest brandy here, Hector's, which is probably a Latvian in joke because it's the cheapest. Brown sugars. We've got in terms of spices, this is kind of minimum. You can use whatever you like, but I've got cinnamon, ground cloves, and nutmeg. Freshly ground nutmeg, but of course you can use allspice and other sweet spices as well if you want to use those as you see fit. So essentially the first part of this is we need to take the dried fruits and we need to put them in a bowl with the brandy and so a drop of water and the spices, and then those fruits will plump up. They'll suck back in some of the water and become nice and juicy. Take on board the brandy and the spices. We'll cook, later on we'll cook the mixture when we add the sugars, and then the alcohol will burn off from there, so there won't be any alcohol left, just this kind of brandy taste. And then we add everything else, and then we put it in jars, and then you can make mince pies or you can give it away as gifts. So let's start by putting this stuff in a bowl and rehydrating it a little bit. Okay, so it's been 24 hours now. I don't know if you can see, but all the fruit now is all plumped up, nice and juicy, and all the water and the brandy and everything is all now been soaked up by the fruit. What was quite a dry mixture now is nice and sticky, and all we need to do now is to add the other ingredients and to heat it through. So we're just going to add the apple and the nuts and then some brown sugar, as if it's not sweet enough already. It tastes amazing. All those flavours have had time to party together and get soaked into the fruit. Heat it through to sterilise it, and then put it into jars, and then it's ready to be consumed. So let's get on and do that. So now I'm just going to chop the apple, chop it finely. You can keep the skin on, it doesn't make any difference. And also I'm going to chop some nuts, some almonds. I don't like it too nutty, so I don't put a lot in, but obviously it's this type of dish that If you like more nuts, then you can add more nuts, and if you like hazelnuts rather than almonds, then add hazelnuts. It's completely up to you. The measurements don't matter too much. So I'll just put it on the heat. We're going to heat it through now, and I've added the sugar. Brown sugar's going in, about 150 grams. Again, doesn't matter too much. Don't need to be too accurate. And then finally, I'm going to add some more water to allow it to heat through. So obviously some of the juices in there will evaporate, but I don't really want to lose any more of the moisture. So I'll add some water and a touch more brandy, and the alcohol will all evaporate as part of the heating process, just leaving the brandy taste. And then we'll just heat it through. You can see now the it's all heated through nicely, and by now the alcohol would have evaporated, all the juices are coming out from the apples, and again all those flavours having a party in there. I'm mixing, and this is pretty much ready to jar now. So I've sterilised the jars with boiling water. To be honest, this stuff doesn't really last long enough. I mean, as in, it's eaten very quickly, to worry too much about how long it's going to be shelf stable inside jars. Right, here we are. Here's our finished mincemeat, and you can see we've got a few jars out of it. Got some small ones as gifts, and then 2 or 3 big ones which we'll use in our baking. So how will we use it? Well, we'll probably make some mince pies or mince tarts. Mince pies, maybe pierogi in Latvian, sweet pastry, short pastry with a dollop of the mincemeat in it, and then if they're tarts, then they're just without a lid. And you can also put it in kind of little squares of puff pastry and just serve it as little nibbles and stuff like that, or with ice cream, something like that. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions or comments, please do leave them below. Please share our videos on social media with your friends, and that really helps us, and I really appreciate that. If you're subscribed, thank you really very much for your subscription, and if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so, as that really helps. And give us a thumbs up, appreciate that as well. And yeah, I just want to encourage you really to have a go. If you're like me, you're living in a country that's not your home country and you miss the taste of home, then have a go experimenting and trying to recreate those tastes yourself. This is a very British Christmas tradition, and I wanted to recreate it here, so I've made my best attempt, and I'm really pleased how it's come out. So do have a go at that. So that's it for this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.